Dear students, today I am starting with the chapter Crop Production of Science of Class 8th. Methods of Crop Production. Modern agriculture requires a stepwise, workable, scientific approach. It requires knowledge about the nature of the soil, the nutrients it contains, methods of plowing, sowing, irrigation, pest control, etc. Today I am discussing about the different methods of crop production step by step. Number first step which comes, that is preparation of soil. Preparation of soil is the process by which the soil is made suitable for sowing of seeds. This involves the following steps. Number first, that's the plowing or tilling, and another, that is the leveling. So what is plowing? Plowing is the process of loosening and turning the soil for better percolation of water and air. It is done with the help of plow driven by a tractor or by animals. What are the advantages of plowing? Number first, loose soil allows roots to grow deep into the soil and support plants. Number two, plowing aerates the soil. This allows the roots to breathe easily. Number third, plowing is also better for the nutrient rich soil to the top so that the plants can use these nutrients. Number fourth, manures and fertilizers mix better with the plowed soil. And number fifth, loose soil helps sunlight to reach deeper layers of soil and kill harmful microbes. Agricultural implements used for plowing are plow, hoe, cultivator, etc. Now the second point for the preparation of soil, that is leveling. Plowed soil may have big lumps of soil called clumps. Crushing of these lumps of soils and gently pressing the soil with the wooden or iron leveler is known as leveling. So now what's the advantage of this leveling? Number first, it helps to prevent soil erosion. It ensures uniform irrigation. Number third, it allows uniform mixing of fertilizers and manures. Now we come to the next step, that is manuring. So what is manuring? Before sowing of seeds, manures or fertilizers are added to the soil to increase its fertility. Addition of manures makes the soil spongy and helps it to hold air and water. Manuring can be done by two sub methods, that is manures and the fertilizers. By adding them, we can improve. Number first, that's the manures. What are manures? Manures are organic substances that supply almost all the nutrients required by plants. They are obtained from dead and decaying organic matter. Manures are of different types. Number 4, that is the compost manure. It is obtained when the farm waste like the livestock, excreta, cow dung, etc., vegetable waste, domestic waste, sewage waste, straw, weeds. What are weeds? Do you know? Those are the unwanted plants, are decomposed in pits. This process is known as composting. Compost is rich in organic matter and nutrients. Now the second type, that is vermicompost. Compost is also prepared by using earthworms to quicken process of decomposition of the plant and animal waste. This method is called vermicomposting. Next is the farmyard manure. It is prepared from the cattle dung, residues like the straw, leaves and branches of the crop plants. Now the fourth point, that is green manure. Before sowing of crop seeds, some leguminous plants. What are the leguminous plants? Which produce legumes or the pods, all the beans. They are the good example of leguminous plants. Like sun hemp and the guar are grown and then They are mulched by plowing them into the soil. These green plants thus turn into the green manure, which helps in the enriching the soil in nitrogen and phosphorus. Now the second, that is the fertilizers. Fertilizers are chemicals that contain nutrients for plant growth. They are man-made and are produced as the salt in factories. The most commonly used fertilizers are NPK. N, that is nitrogen, P, that is phosphorus, and K, that is potassium. As the organic component of the soil is gradually getting reduced, sulfur is also now being recommended for ensuring soil nutrition. Now few disadvantages of the fertilizers. Number first, excessive use of fertilizers can damage soil by making it either too acidic or too basic. Second, that is fertilizers have also become a source of water pollution. Excess of fertilizers get washed away by rainwater from crop trees and into water bodies, harming aquatic plants and animals also. Third point, that is excess fertilizers also harm useful microbes in the soil. Advantages of using manure over fertilizers. Manures enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. It makes the soil porous, making exchange of gases easy. It improves the texture of the soil. It increases the number of friendly microbes in soil like the earthworms. Now the third process, that is sowing. The process of putting seeds into the soil is called sowing. Seeds can be sown by any of these methods. First, that is broadcasting. This is a traditional method where seeds are scattered on the field by hand. The disadvantage of this method is that the seeds may not get sown at the proper distances and at the proper depths, resulting in wastage and reduced crop yield. Now the second, that is the traditional tool. The traditional tool comprises of a funnel connected to 3 tubes that have sharp ends. Seeds put into the funnel travel into the tubes whose sharp ends penetrate into the soil and place seeds at proper depth. This tool also ensures the seeds are spaced correctly. Using traditional tool may be better than broadcasting, but it requires more time and labor. Now the next process, that is the seed drill. The mechanism involved in seed drill is very similar to a traditional tool, but the efficiency is higher. The seed drill is connected to a tractor and has many tubes leading to the plow. This method saves time and labor and is more efficient than a traditional tool. Advantages of seed drill over the traditional tool. Seeds are sown at proper distances and depths. Birds cannot eat the seeds as they are not exposed. Seedlings do not compete for air, space, nutrients and light. And of course it saves time and labor also. Now the next, that is the transplantation. In plants like the tomato, rice, chilies, etc., the seeds are not put in the field directly but are sown in the seed beds in nurseries. The seedlings are selected and then transplanted, that is transferred to the field. Advantages of transplantation. Only healthy seedlings are transferred through this method. It promotes better roots and shoot development. It allows sowing of the plantlets at proper distances and proper depth. Now the next step for crop production, that is irrigation. The process of supplying water to crops in a field through canals, reservoirs, tube wells, etc. is called irrigation. Traditional method of irrigation. Traditional irrigation methods involve drawing water from the wells, lakes, and canals by using the cattle or human labor. The lifted water is then taken to the fields for irrigation. Nowadays, apart from animals and humans, pumps are also being used for lifting water. These pumps are run by diesel, biogas, electricity, and solar energy. Although cheaper, traditional methods of irrigation are not very efficient. Now the next method, that is the modern method of irrigation. Number first thing, that is the sprinkler system. This system is used in places where the land is uneven or the soil is sandy. The sprinkler system involves a network of the vertical pipes that have rotating nozzles, and the top, the pipes are joined to the main pipeline and regular intervals. When the main pipe is turned on, pressurized water flows out through the rotating nozzle. The nozzles sprinkle water on the crops evenly. Now the next, that is the drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is a useful technique in areas with the water shortage. It involves a system of pipes and tubes that supply water to the plants drop by drop, thereby minimizing wastage of water. Now the next step, that is the crop protection. A growing crop needs to be protected from other plants or the animals that can damage it. Crop protection includes number first, that is the weeding. Weeding is the process of removal of weeds, or you can say that is the removal of unwanted plants growing along with the crop plants. That can be done with the help of mechanical control. Weeds are pulled by hand, trowel. What is trowel? That's a khurpi or harrow also. Second, that is chemical control. Certain chemicals like 2,4-D, Dalapon, Metachlor, etc. are used for killing weeds. These are called weedicides or herbicides also. Now third type, that is biological control. Some organisms which particularly feed on the specific weeds are introduced into the fields in the large number. They eat weeds but do not damage the main crop. Now the pest control. Crop plants may be attacked by the pests which may affect the crop production. Pests include fungi, bacteria, viruses, rodents such as the rat, and the insects such as the locust and the termites, etc. Fungi causes disease like the ismut and the rust of wheat, blight of potato, etc. Bacteria cause blight of rice. Pests can be controlled by chemicals. Chemical substances called pesticides are used for killing pests. Pesticides are of three types. Number first, that's the insecticide, which kill or harm insects such as the locust, termites, etc. Next one is the fungicides, which destroy fungi, and the next, that is rodenticides, which kill rodents like the rat, etc. Disadvantage of the pesticide: they can kill useful insects like the butterflies and honeybees also. Next one, that is the biological control. This method may be slow, but it is a non-polluting and highly specific way of controlling pests. Birds can be scared away by placing scarecrows in the field. Some organisms which eat pests but not crops can be used to get rid of pests from the field. Now the next step for the crop production, that is harvesting. Harvesting is the process of collecting or gathering of matured crops. In India, harvesting of crops, especially cereal crops, takes place twice a year. The two main crops growing in seasons our country are called Kharif and Rabi crop. There is another seasonal crop called the zaid, which includes some vegetables and low-grade cereals. Now the methods by which the harvesting done, that is the threshing. Number 4, that is threshing. After the crop is cut, grains are separated by threshing the plants on a stone or by making cattle walk over the crop. These days, machines called threshers are also used for this purpose. There are also machines called combine threshers which can do both harvesting and threshing. Next is the winnowing process. The grains collected after threshing have some chaff which needs to be separated. This is achieved by winnowing. It is the process where grains are dropped from a height. The heavier grains fall directly to the ground while the lighter chaff blows away and collects at a distance. Now the last and the very important point or the step for the crop production, that is the storage and distribution. As crop yield can vary from one season to another, food grains need to be stored for use in times of shortage. Usually, buffer or the extra stocks are maintained so that supply of grains is ample even if the crop fails or yields lesser amount of grains in a particular season. After crops such as the wheat or rice are harvested, the grains obtained usually have high moisture content and need to be dried before they can be packed. Eventually, these grains are packed in the gunny or the jute bags and stored in godowns or the granaries. The stored grains need to be inspected regularly for pests and the microbes.